5 years into the PS4 life cycle, and Sony is starting to think about gamers who want more performance out of their input device. The PlayStation blog confirmed that Sony PS4 owners will soon have the option of an officially licensed performance controller from Scuf Gaming. Scuf isn't new to the production of PS4 controllers, but we now have an officially licensed pad from them called the Scuf Vantage, and it certainly changes things up, not only in terms of performance, but also when it comes to layout. The first thing you'll notice is the left analog stick. It's higher than the right, kind of like an Xbox, which is a move away from the traditional positioning. On the sides are mounted two buttons. There's also adjustable hair triggers with stops and extenders, four removable back paddles, a quick access remapping switch, and customizable thumbsticks allowing for three different heights in both concave and convex configurations. This thing is actually pretty cool. It's also possible to switch out the D-pad and interchange magnetic faceplates. If you've been frustrated by the lack of customization on the standard DualShock 4 pad, then the Scuf Vantage was clearly made for you. However, it's certainly not cheap. The wired-only model, which I don't know why anybody these days would buy a wired controller, is $169, but if you want to go wireless, the price jumps to $199. As a bonus, though, Scuf also includes a travel case with the wireless model. Scuf and Sony plan to launch Vantage in late summer 2018, giving you a few months to save up to buy one of your own. A team of British engineers are building lifelike robots that can dance, talk in several languages, and even scare London pub-goers. Engineering Arts, founded in 2004, is a world leader in life-sized, commercially available humanoid robots. With prices ranging from $13,000 to $80,000, the high-end robots are used for entertainment, information, education, and research. The company currently offers three commercially available products: Robo Thespian, SoshiBot, and the SoshiBot Mini. Its top-of-the-range android, the fully interactive and multilingual Robo Thespian, has been sold and displayed around the world quite a few times now. It even succeeded in giving a 15-minute-long TED Talk recently. You can check that out on YouTube. In many places, it has been joined by the smaller SoshiBot at science centers, theme parks, and visitor attractions. Now, many academic and commercial research groups are also using the robots as research and development platforms. Engineering Arts is also developing new robots. It's been developing a range of lifelike biomechanical mesmer robots that builds on the sensors and the extensive software framework already developed for the Robo Thespian. Mesmer robots offer some of the smartest animatronics on the market, giving extensive interaction, but can also move very smoothly, quietly, and naturally too. Last month, the company developed Fred, a one-off automaton that frightened punters in a London pub. The robot, described as indistinguishable from humans, was created as part of a stunt to promote TV series Westworld. The hyper-realistic robot, modeled to be an exact replica of London-based actor Tedroy Newell, sat down for a refreshing lager at the Prince Alfred pub recently. Engineering Arts built Fred in 12 weeks. Fred's human-like interactions were controlled by Engineered Arts telepresence systems, which uses inbuilt sensors, cameras, and microphones to track how people interact with the machine. Fred was funded by streaming service Now TV to promote the return of dark science fiction show Westworld, and was inspired by the show's artificially intelligent hosts. Fred is the next generation in human-like robotics, and so it seems fitting to hand the show's promotion over to him. Needless to say, there were some stunned reactions, especially when, in true Westworld style, he started to glitch out. Hasbro isn't wasting much time bringing its board games to Oculus rooms. As promised, you can now play Boggle in Facebook's social VR space, letting you play the classic game with up to 4 pals using Oculus Go or Gear VR headsets. It's far from a technical showcase for VR, surprise it plays exactly like Boggle, but it's also hard to complain too loudly. This could be inviting if you want to host a virtual board game night that's as much about catching up with friends as it is playing the game. Whatever you think of Boggle, it's important to remember that this is just a taster. Deeper games like Monopoly and Trivial Pursuit are still coming in the future. This is part of a larger strategy that will turn Oculus rooms into more of a true hangout instead of a narrowly focused VR experiment. In video game news, history in the making. Epic Games has announced that it will provide $100 million in prize pool money for Fortnite competitions in the first year of competitive play. An eye-popping figure that puts the game at the upper echelon of esports with regard to monetary prizes. Officially, Fortnite competitions are slated to start sometime later this year, though little else is known about what shape these tournaments will take. In the 2018-2019 season, Epic Games will provide $100 million to fund prize pools for Fortnite competitions. We don't know if Epic is planning one giant tournament circuit or a number of smaller tournaments around the globe. Regardless of whatever format these competitions take, the figure will immediately make Fortnite one of the most lucrative esports games in history. Valve's Dota 2 has paid out more than $140 million in more than 900 tournaments. That's since 2013. Other top games like Counter-Strike, Go, and League of Legends have paid out just north of $50 million. Even Overwatch League, Blizzard's traditional sports league approach to esports competition, is slated to pay out just $3.5 million in prizes for its inaugural year when the final season closes next month. Epic made $126 million in February on console and PC, according to analytics firm Super Data Research, and has likely made much more than that in the months since, as its user numbers have increased and the iOS version of the game was added to the mix. So $100 million sounds like a worthwhile investment to keep Fortnite at the forefront of both esports and pop culture. Next month, Epic is hosting a tournament in Los Angeles during the annual E3 convention that will feature 50 celebrities and 50 top YouTubers and Twitch streamers playing in teams of 2. From the sounds of it, a tournament like that is just the beginning of the developer's esports ambitions. In a security alert, the FBI has issued a dire warning to everyone who has a router in their home. The Internet Crime Complaint Center sent a rare public announcement declaring foreign cyber actors have compromised hundreds of thousands of home and office routers and other network devices worldwide. The hackers are using VPN filter malware to target small office and home office routers, said the FBI. VPN filter is able to render small office and home office routers inoperable. The FBI warns that the malware can potentially also collect information passing through it. Detection and analysis of the malware's network activity is complicated by its use of encryption. The feds recommend any owner of small office and home office routers reboot their devices to temporarily disrupt the malware and aid the potential identification of infected devices. They also advise to consider disabling remote management settings on devices, use encryption, upgrade firmware, and choose new and different passwords, which is pretty much the best practice anyway. If you don't know what any of that means, get a techie to help you out. And finally, happening in this week's What The?, a Victorian farmer accused of murdering a man who ran over his dog has claimed his shotgun went off accidentally after he tripped on an eggplant. 55-year-old Angelo Russo is accused of fatally shooting David Calandro in 2017 during a dispute after Calandro ran over Russo's dog. His defense barrister says Russo was holding a shotgun and walking towards Calandro's ute when he tripped on an eggplant and the gun went off. But the prosecution alleges that the 55-year-old walked up to Mr. Calandro on February 18th and deliberately shot him in the head because Mr. Russo was angry about his dog Harry being run over. Calandro had his 2 sons in the car at the time. The eldest boy, 13, was seated next to him when he was fatally shot. The trial before Justice Michael Croucher continues. Thanks for watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think I should feature on the program, you need to shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook too, at Your Weekly Tech Update, and check out our audio and video podcast on iTunes Podcasts and elsewhere on the interwebs. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world.